You're welcome.
All right, on January 2nd of this year, the world either watched live or seen it after the fact. Damar Hamlin nearly died on the football
Said you're
field in
welcome.
Cincinnati. 1 week later, he was released from the hospital with a clean bill of health. Today, we found out that Hamlin has now been cleared to resume playing football and physical activity. Hamlin holding a press conference to announce the news and confirm the prevailing thought that he suffered cordis on the field that night, which is when the heart is struck hard at a specific time, causing cardiac arrest. Here was Hamlin on why he wants to return to the field.
My heart is still in it. My heart is still in the game. I love the game. It's something I want to prove to myself, not nobody else. It's just, I just want to show people that fear is a choice, that, you can keep going in something without having the answers and without knowing what's at the end of the tunnel. Or, you might feel anxious. You might feel any type of way, but you just keep putting that right foot in front of the left one and you keep going. I want to stand for that.
Hamlin, 25 years old, wishing the best moving forward. The Norfolk home tonight. The team sitting at the International League standings right now with a 10-4 record and a 3-game streak. Norfolk 4-1 at home this season. Of course, they played that one series with Gwinnett. Now, in the 14 total games so far, Tides have a plus 41 run differential against their opponents. That's 16 more than the next closest team as they get Rochester tonight. Fun coincidence. Remember, Rochester was a longtime AAA affiliate of the Orioles from 1961 to 2002. That's 42 years. They only became recent AAA affiliates with the Washington Nationals back in 2021. And tonight, the two big league ball clubs face off in D.C. at Nats Park. Orioles and Nationals first pitch at 7:05. Baltimore fourth in the AL East right now, and the Nationals are dead last in the NL East. It's been a long time since they won the World Series. Nationals struggling. They're in rebuild mode.
Well,
so in Pittsburgh Pirates for the past 3 decades. Right. I had to get that in. Sorry.
it would be a nice night, at least locally, if you were watching baseball.
Yeah, it would be a beautiful night. Temperatures are going to be sitting in the 70s here for this evening. There's a nice breeze to keep the mosquitoes away right now, too. That's a bonus. Heating up on Thursday, some rain on the way Saturday nights.
Craig Loper setting me up again.
Every team goes through rebuilding, it is what it is. All right, we'll leave you with this view of the Lester Bridge. Our next show's at 6:30. We'll see you at 10 and 11.
You get more for your money at Thompson
First time in all our wind that we got big trash cans in on Tuesday.
Yeah, I was telling, I think I told Bancy, or I just said it out loud. I said, Tuesday is the first time they ever came on the same day it's supposed to.
I know.
There's never been a better
Both of them. Usually they come the next day.
Call 757-716-5056. Adventure starts here.
They must have not been so real busy.
It crosses horizons, always driving, climbing, seeking someplace new. It leads with confidence and longevity. Adventure pulls us together and shouts, "Let's go places." Now get as low as 3.99% APR on select Camrys and Corollas. Toyota, let's go places.
See, Todd, by cloning our technicians, we can service twice as many customers twice as fast.
But Ryan, our one-hour technicians are trained to be personable and knowledgeable, one of a kind. I don't think I want you pursuing that kind of research.
Great. What do I do with those guys?
1 hour heating and air conditioning. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime.
Genius.
Looking for a roof leak? Stop costly roof leaks before they happen. Be proactive and prevent roof leak nightmares and water damage disaster from happening to you. Call Pyramid Roofing today for our $53 off spring special. Hampton Road's most trusted roofer. At First Team Auto, we're the place that's all about helping you enjoy your ride when buying a pre-owned car. And we're also the place to enjoy selling your vehicle. Because with First Team Auto, you can go online and we'll quickly tell you how much will pay you for your card. We'll come pick it up if you like, and we'll pay you the same day. Plus, you'll have a whole team of real people to help you, who also call Hampton Roads home. Go to sellthefirsttteam.com to get started. Enjoy your ride and enjoy your sale.
Helping neighbors? That's my favorite part of the job.
Folks get a hand every once in a while, especially in tough times. Thanks.
At Dominion Energy, we help those who need it most. Our Energy Share program offers free home weatherization and bill pay assistance to those who qualify.
If I can help someone save money and stay warm, I'll do it.
I'd want someone to do it for my mom if she needed it.
Visit our website and find out more about Energy Share. Summer Safety of the Oceanfront, Thursday at 6.
Tonight, breaking news, a massive settlement in a defamation lawsuit against Fox News. The stunning last-minute agreement between lawyers for Fox and Dominion Voting Systems after a jury was seated and opening statement set to begin. Fox agreeing to pay Dominion over $787 million, avoiding one of the biggest media trials in decades. What the two sides are saying tonight. Just breaking, a parking garage collapsing in downtown Manhattan. One person is dead and 5 injured inside the urgent rescue operation underway. Also tonight, the Kansas City homeowner charged with shooting a black teen who mistakenly rang his doorbell surrenders and posts bail. The 84-year-old suspect telling police he thought someone was trying to break into his house. The 16-year-old's classmates rallying around him. And another shooting at the wrong address, a man who opened fire on a car that accidentally drove into his driveway, charged with murder after killing a 20-year-old woman. The American reporter appearing in a Russian courtroom accused of spying. Charges the U.S. is blasting as baseless. And the surprise announcement, Buffalo Bills safety DeMar Hamlin cleared to play again after nearly...
Wars and rumors of wars.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening and welcome. A dramatic ending late today to the explosive lawsuit between Fox News and Dominion Voting Systems, with the two sides reaching a settlement just hours after the jury was sworn in. Fox agreeing to pay Dominion more than $787 million over the network's unsupported claims that the 2020 presidential election was rigged. Dominion's CEO proclaiming Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion. Fox simply acknowledging rulings that determined certain claims about Dominion to be false. The case centered on Fox's baseless reporting that Dominion voting machines flipped votes and skewed 2020 election results, despite privately acknowledging those claims were false. Today's settlement less than the $1.6 billion Dominion was seeking. Our Stephanie Gosk is at the courthouse in Delaware. And Steph, what was it like in the courtroom when the judge announced the settlement?
You know, Lester, we came back from a lunch break expecting opening statements, but the jury never came in. The delay stretched into hours, and then the judge came in and with very little ceremony said an agreement had been reached, and just like that, the trial that was supposed to last 5 to 6 weeks was over.
The parties have resolved their case. With those words, the landmark trial between Dominion and Fox News was over before it began. The 12-person jury, seated just this morning, was thanked for its service. Fox and Dominion legal teams thanked the court, and everyone walked out.
Lies have consequences.
Attorneys for Dominion then spoke to a sea of reporters outside.
Today represents a ringing endorsement for truth and for democracy.
As part of the settlement, Fox agreed to pay Dominion $787.5 million, just less than half of the $1.6 billion they were suing for.
Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion that caused enormous damage to my company, our employees, and the customers that we serve. Nothing can ever make up for that.
Dominion Voting Systems accused the network of defamation and promoting conspiracy theories about the 2020 presidential election. President Trump's lawyers were repeated guests on Fox, falsely claiming Dominion used its voting machines to rig the outcome.
The machine ran an algorithm that shaved votes from Trump and awarded them to Biden.
At the center of it all, Dominion Voting Systems. Are they the culprit here?
Fox News releasing a statement acknowledging the court's rulings that certain claims about Dominion were false, adding it's hopeful the decision to resolve this dispute with Dominion amicably, the agony of a divisive trial, to move forward. Today, reaction on the network.
Remember, there were risks for both sides here. Fox obviously did not want to lose this case. Dominion would have had to prove actual malice. That's a high bar in any such case.
But legal troubles aren't over for Fox News. It still faces another defamation lawsuit from voting technology company Smartmatic, with similar allegations, suing for $2.7 billion. Fox has denied the allegations and called the alleged damages outrageous.
And Stephanie, we just heard a reference to this term, actual malice. Did Fox admit there was such a thing and what the case was about?
No, Lester, they didn't. They acknowledged the court ruling that certain falsehoods ended up on their broadcast, but they did not admit to spreading them knowingly or with a reckless disregard for the truth. That was what Dominion was going to have to prove in court.
All right,
Lester?
Stephanie, thank you. We have breaking news out of New York City tonight. A building collapse in Lower Manhattan. It happened right around rush hour at a parking garage. Rahima Ellis is there. Rahima, the mayor said one person is dead. Is anyone potentially trapped in the rubble?
Lester, they hope not, but the search is continuing. As you point out, one dead, 4 were injured, 1 refused treatment. We should tell you, authorities say they were all garage employees of this 4-story garage. Firefighters inside searching for people, but authorities deemed it too risky, the building too unstable, so they sent in mechanical eyes instead. A drone and robotic dogs have been inside searching in this building. We're told one person was rescued from the top floor. We don't one of the people who went to the hospital. But again, they hope they've gotten everyone out alive. They've gotten everyone out now. The search is continuing. 1 dead. 4 of workers have been injured. They were taken to the hospital, and 1 other refused treatment. But it's going to be a long night here as the search continues. Lester?
Rahima Ellis, Forest of New York. Thank you. There's developing news out of Kansas City, Missouri, where that homeowner who shot a black teenager at his door posted $200,000 bail hours after turning himself in today. Maggie Vespa is there with late details.
Tonight, police say the white homeowner accused of shooting a black Missouri teen who rang his doorbell, now out on bail after turning himself in to police.
We are satisfied with the charges that are brought as charges. Obviously, we want to see it through to a conviction and appropriate sentencing. 84-year-old
Andrew Lester faces the possibility of life in prison, charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action for shooting 16-year-old in an arm after Jarl, hoping to pick up his younger brothers Thursday, accidentally went to the home.
Said that he was shot through the screen door at point-blank range, and when he went to the ground, he was shot a second time.
Meanwhile, new details on the homeowner's possible defense. Per a probable cause statement, Andrew Lester telling detectives he was in bed Thursday night when he heard his doorbell ring, adding he picked up his gun and saw a black male, approximately 6 feet tall, pulling on his exterior storm handle door. Lester noting he believed someone was attempting in and shot twice, adding he was scared to death. 2 exchanged no words. NBC News has made multiple attempts to reach out to Lester, but so far has been unsuccessful. Ralph's family says he only rang the doorbell and never tried to break in. The family's attorney says that Andrew Lester told Ralph, "Don't come around here," before shooting him. The family says Ralph, wounded, ran for his life. Meanwhile, more than 1,500 of his high school classmates rallying around Ralph today, wearing blue, his favorite color, and willing his recovery along.
We support you, Ralph. We want to be there for you. We want to let you know that we stand with you.
Maggie Vespa joined me now. Maggie, what do we know about Ralph's condition, his recovery, and the next steps in this case?
Yeah, Lester, the next step is basically this homeowner's arraignment. It's scheduled for tomorrow at 1:30 local time. In the meantime, Ralph Fiorello suffering at home from his injuries. He's suffering from a cracked skull and a traumatic brain injury. We're told his speech is impaired, and his family is hopeful for a full recovery, but they add nothing is certain. Lester?
Maggie, thank you. As that case plays out, there is shock in upstate New York. Police say a man shot and killed a 20-year-old woman who was in a car that accidentally pulled into his driveway. Tonight, he is charged with murder. Miguel Almaguer now with that story.
Lost in rural upstate New York, 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis was shot and killed Saturday night
Wars
when the
and
SUV
rumors of
she was
war.
in accidentally pulled into the wrong driveway. It happened in remote Washington County when the sheriff says Gillis and her friends, who were in 2 vehicles and a motorcycle, couldn't find a nearby home. As the SUV was turning around, investigators say Kevin Monahan walked out of his home and fired 2 shots at the vehicle.
Why did the suspect tell you he opened fire?
He has not given us any motive. He's not given us a reason as to why he felt necessary to fire. They turned around and were in the process of leaving when the shots were fired.
The sheriff says Gillis, who was in the front passenger seat, and her 3 friends never got out of the car and never posed a threat to Monahan, who's charged with murder. After the shooting, driving through the secluded town of Hebron, the group an area with cell phone service and called 911.
They were young kids, like anywhere across this country, that were on a weekend night looking for a friend's house, and it was just a senseless, and it's a tragic incident.
Monahan, who's 65, has pled not guilty and is expected in court tomorrow. His attorney tells NBC News the shooting was a series of errors which resulted in a tragedy.
Tonight, a 20-year-old shot and killed after pulling into the wrong driveway. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Tonight, a jailed American reporter appearing to be in good
You
health
ring
in
the
a courtroom, but no progress
ring the
in
doorbell,
efforts to get him free
the
as he
kid gets
faces
killed, shot or
espionage
killed.
charges that the U.S. government calls baseless. Here's Andrea Mitchell.
American journalist Evan Gershkovich seen publicly
Back in
today
the
for
day
the
in the
first time
60s and
since his arrest
70s
in
and
late
80s.
March. Appearing
If you
stoic
ring
in
the
a plaid
doorbell,
shirt and jeans,
people
his
open the
arms
door and
crossed,
say, hey, how
standing
you
in a
doing?
glass
Or,
enclosure.
you got the
As a
wrong
Russian
house,
court
sorry.
denied his appeal and refused to grant bail, returning him to a former KGB prison until his next pretrial hearing in May. His lawyer is saying
turning
he's ready
dark
to
and
prove his
gloomy
innocence.
in the
Gershkovich
year
was charged
2023.
espionage, which could carry a sentence
Evil
of
is
up to
running
20
amok.
years in prison if found guilty. And in Russia, 99% of those tried are convicted. The U.S. ambassador is standing with him in the courtroom.
The charges against Evan are baseless, and we call on the Russian Federation to immediately release him.
Evan writing a note to his
God's
parents
right
in
around the
Russian,
corner,
their native language,
closer than you
saying,
think.
I am not losing hope until we meet soon, write me. And signing the letter with his nickname, Vanya. His parents telling the Wall Street Journal their son has always loved Russia, the country they fled. And loved asking questions.
So he just has this need to, desire to learn deeper, find out meaning in things.
What's one of the American qualities that we observed? Be optimistic, believe in happy ending.
Meanwhile, African Paul Whelan has been in a Russian prison for 4 years, falsely convicted of espionage. His family says Paul now feels abandoned by the White House. Today, the U.S. ambassador again called for his release. Lester.
All right, thank you. A 6th suspect has just been arrested in a deadly crime ring that terrorized New York City. It's a story NBC News has been investigating for nearly a year, and now police and the victims' loved ones are speaking out. Ann Thompson now with the latest in our ongoing investigation.
Under arrest tonight, 35-year-old Jaquan Hamilton, the final suspect, police say, in a string of robberies that stoked fear in New York City's gay community and resulted in the deaths of 2 men. 33-year-old John Umberger and 25-year-old Julio Ramirez were each drugged, robbed, and found dead after leaving gay bars in Hell's Kitchen last spring. City officials speaking publicly today for the first time about the alleged crime spree. 17 incidents in almost a year.